Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to explain a little bit before I get into the main video, just why it has no videos, and then I'm going to talk about my January reading wrap-up, because it is quite a few things to talk about here. So first things first, the reason there's been no videos is purely down to me. I have not felt like filming. I have not had the energy to sit and film. I have wanted to film, but the motivation just wasn't there. All I wanted to do was sit, read my books, watch Murder, She Wrote, and I've been keeping my cat in the living room, Juju, company. She's been kind of needy and clingy this past week, so I was sitting out there with her. I discovered she likes watching Murder, She Wrote, so I was sitting out there, and I've been watching Murder, She Wrote and reading until I have been fully knocked out, tired, and coming to go to bed. That's it. That's why there has been no videos. There's nothing else going on that I did, just start filming. Other than there's just no motivation, for filming. So, that being said, let's get into my January reading wrap-up, because it was a pretty good month. So, like I said, January was a pretty good reading month. It started off, I want to say, disappointing, then it has slowly, towards the end of the month, gotten better. So the first one I'm going to talk about is a DNF. That is, don't know if you'll pick up The Reader, by Tracy Chee. This book is book one of the Sea of Ink and Gold series. And in this world, people don't read books. Stories and legends are told through the voice. People are told through generations. And some of the greatest magic of this world is in books. And our main character, Sephia, just so happens to be in possession of a book, just so happens to start reading it and learning the magic. I thought this book was very, very interesting for I got about 200 pages in, I want to say, and I thought it was really, really interesting. And then I took about a 2-day, 3-day break from it, and when I came back, I was just so disconnected from the world. There was a chapter where Sephia was using her magic for the first time, and I just was so bored and was not invested in it. So that, you know what? If I'm not going to be invested in even the first display of magic, probably means I'm not going to be invested in the rest of the book, let alone 2 more books. So I just have DNF in this book, and I don't want to pick it back up. Then I picked up The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This one I did finish, and I gave 2 out of 5 stars. This was a very, very disappointing book to me. It weighs very, very heavy on the satire of horror versus it being like a very original story. My 2 main issues with it were the backstories of all of the girls, or I should say the women, in the Final Girl Support Group were straight rips, as you say, of popular slash movies. For instance, there was a Laurie Strode character, a Sidney Prescott character, so on and so forth. it made, excuse me, it made it so I wasn't investing in characters. Because I want to read something or watch something or, ingest something with Laurie Strode, I'll watch Halloween. Same with Sarah Prescott, I'll watch Scream. So I was not really interested in any characters. And then the big reveal at the end I felt was very just thrown in there. 50% of it I called from page, when the character was first introduced, it's like, that's the killer. I was right. 50% to also really put a twist in there. I want to say about 30 pages to the end. The other twist was introduced, which felt very just meh. It didn't give me enough time to realize, okay, or didn't give me enough time to sit back and be like, okay, I can see that, So I just was very disappointed by this book and gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I may continue on reading more Lady Hendrix in the future. Just from the library. I don't think I'll ever pick his books up in physical form. The next book I picked up was Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This book, I read about 60 pages of it, and I decided this is not a book for me to read from the library. The pacing for me was very, very slow, and the writing was very descriptive, which isn't a bad thing. I'll just say right now, that was not a bad thing. The bad thing is, this is a library book, and I read this book for 3 days. And I only got about 20 pages done a day before I felt like my brain had enough ingestion of the story. I really enjoyed it, and I think what I'm going to do is wait till this book is out in paperback, pick it up for myself, and then I will slowly enjoy the book. So that was what I did read / got through, except for one more book, which I will talk about in a second. I am still currently reading my way through Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I am now at the halfway point. I was hoping to get this book finished by the end of this month, but then another book series or book piqued my interest more, so I will work on this more in the month of February. The next book that I did finish was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is book 1. Excuse me. This is book 1 of the series, and I absolutely adored rereading this book. It was just so fun. This has pretty much been the book I have been working on. Excuse me. Working on this past week while I was watching Murder, She Wrote and so like that. So I was just enjoying it so much that I went ahead and jumped right into Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And I just started this book last night, which is Thursday and from Friday. And I'm already on chapter 8, 120 pages in. So I will count this one as a finished book for January, because there is still 3 days left to the month. So I do see myself finishing this book up by the end of the month, easily, probably by the end of this coming weekend. And I also would like to possibly pick up Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is book 1 of the Grisha trilogy, or now technically book 1 of the Grisha verse. And I'm going to start the Netflix series next month. So I'm going to pick this one up and at least get done with book 1 before I watch the Netflix series. That being said, that is all of my reading this month. I will compile some books for February TBR. I'm going to be going to the library tomorrow, which is Saturday, the day you should be seeing this. And then I'll get you guys some books from my shelf. February is my birthday month. I will be turning 30 years old. And I will be, I think, reaching for books that I really enjoy from an author or just the genre of books. So it's going to be a very movie month. But I'll try to pick out at least 3 or 4 that I can do like a TBR video for. And then I'll show you the books I got from the library that might be, added into, excuse me, my TBR for the month. So that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys very soon.